WrestleMania is supposed to be the pinnacle of wrestling, but sometimes WWE throws that out the window for a cheap celebrity stunt. From cringe-worthy promos to laughably bad matches, these 6 celebrities didn't just flop, they embarrassed the business. So buckle up, because this list will make you question WWE's worst decisions ever. What's worse than having a bad match at WrestleMania? Getting booed out of the building before the match even starts. That's exactly what happened to Machine Gun Kelly at WrestleMania 28, when WWE made the brilliant decision to have him perform live before John Cena's entrance, and you know what the problem was? Well, nobody wanted MGK there. WWE thought that Machine Gun Kelly would hype up the crowd, but instead, fans booed him the entire time. Why? Because he was backing John Cena in his feud against The Rock. And at the time, Cena was one of the most divisive superstars in WWE. The crowd, overwhelmingly behind The Rock, saw Machine Gun Kelly as nothing more than an annoying, out-of-place celebrity trying to steal the spotlight. To make things worse, his performance was completely lifeless. Instead of getting the audience pumped, it felt like WWE just hit the skip button on excitement. The boos drowned over his music, and by the time that he finished, fans were just waiting for him to leave. The highlight of Machine Gun Kelly's WWE run was getting powerbombed through a table by Kevin Owens years later. That moment got cheers, which tells you everything that you need to know about his WrestleMania appearance. So was this the worst celebrity moment at WrestleMania? Well, it's definitely in the conversation. Did WrestleMania just break reality? How do you make one of the most dominant 7-foot, 400-pound giants in wrestling history look like an absolute joke? Simple. Put him in the ring with a guy half his size, tell fans to cheer for him, and then let him win with a single punch. That's exactly what happened at WrestleMania 24, when boxing legend Floyd Mayweather faced off against The Big Show in one of the most ridiculous celebrity matches ever. Now, Mayweather is a generational talent in boxing, no doubt about that one, but WWE tried to sell us the idea that this guy, who barely weighs as much as one of Big Show's legs, could knock him out cold with a single shot. No, I'm not buying it, and so was the WWE fans. No one was buying it. WWE booked Mayweather as the hero, but fans turned on him instantly. Nobody wanted to see an arrogant, money-flashing boxer take down a beloved giant. And let's be real, this wasn't about entertainment, this was about a massive payday for Mayweather. He walked away with millions, while Big Show walked away with his credibility shattered. Was this one of the worst celebrity moments in WrestleMania history? Absolutely, but more importantly, who actually thought that this was a good idea? When you think of WrestleMania, you think of legends, championship moments, and unforgettable battles. But in 2011, WWE decided to turn the grandest stage of them all into an episode of Jersey Shore by putting Snooki in a match. Teaming up with Trish Stratus and John Morrison, she was thrown into a 6-man tag match against Lay Cool and Dolph Ziggler. And while she did manage to hit a surprisingly decent handspring elbow, let's be real, this match was a complete joke. Fans didn't care, WWE superstars didn't care, and John Morrison really didn't care. He was so frustrated that he straight up snubbed Trish Stratus backstage because he believed an actual legend was overshadowed by a reality TV star. This match was short, forgettable, and only existed to cash in on Snooki's 15 minutes of fame. But did it elevate WrestleMania? Absolutely not. It felt like a cheap publicity stunt. And when the dust settled, nobody was talking about the match. Just how bizarre it was to see Snooki at WrestleMania in the first place. So the real question is, who thought that this was a WrestleMania-worthy moment? On the other hand, WrestleMania has had its fair share of celebrity disasters, but few were as downright baffling as Kevin Federline's run in WWE. Yes, Britney Spears' ex-husband famous for, well, being Britney Spears' ex-husband, was once treated like a legitimate WWE superstar. Federline never technically wrestled at WrestleMania, but WWE pushed him like he was a main event material superstar. In 2007, he feuded with none other than John Cena, got way too much screen time, and even pinned Cena on Monday Night Raw. Fans were booing him because he was a great heel. They just genuinely didn't want him there. The guy had zero wrestling ability, zero charisma, and yet WWE acted like he was their next big thing. And do you know what the worst part was? WWE reportedly considered bringing him into WrestleMania 23. Thankfully, they came to their senses and dropped the whole idea because the damage was already done. Federline had gotten more spotlight than actual full-time wrestlers who spent years in the business. So while he dodged a WrestleMania appearance, his short-lived WWE career was still one of the most embarrassing celebrity moments in WWE history. What happens when you take an NFL legend with zero wrestling experience and you throw him into the main event of WrestleMania? You get one of the most bizarre, energy-draining matches in WWE history. At WrestleMania 11, WWE handed the spotlight to Lawrence Taylor, a football icon with no wrestling background, and they put him up against the incredibly talented Bam Bam Bigelow. On paper, it was a spectacle, NFL versus the WWE, but in reality, it was a complete disaster. Taylor was gassed halfway through the match, and he was barely able to stand, while Bam Bam Bigelow had to carry the entire match like a pro. Every move was sloppy, every sequence was slow, and the entire thing just felt so forced. WWE desperately tried to sell this as an epic battle, but the crowd wasn't fooled. This wasn't a main event, it was a glorified publicity stunt. And the worst part of it all, it actually headlined the show. A legendary wrestler like Shawn Michaels was pushed to the undercard, while an NFL player got the biggest match of the night. WrestleMania is supposed to be the pinnacle of wrestling, but this felt more like a halftime gimmick gone wrong. What's worse, a celebrity having a terrible WrestleMania match or a celebrity not wrestling at all but still managing to ruin their moment? Here's Kim Kardashian at WrestleMania 24, a special guest who was supposed to bring Hollywood glamour to WWE's biggest night, but instead delivered one of the most lifeless, awkward, and cringe-worthy backstage segments ever. And let's not forget about the worst part. She introduced the night's biggest match, the Battle of the Billionaires featuring Floyd, Mayweather, and The Big Show, and still somehow made it feel like she was announcing a grocery store sale. Fans weren't booing, they were confused. Why was she even there? Did she even care about WWE? Did WWE just copy-paste her into the event like a bad Photoshop job? Kim Kardashian didn't just ruin her moment at WrestleMania 24, she proved that not every celebrity belongs on WWE's grandest stage. Sometimes doing nothing would have been better than doing whatever she was. And there you have it, 6 of the worst celebrity moments in WrestleMania history. From ridiculous matches to painfully awkward promos, these moments just prove that not every celebrity belongs in a WWE ring. But what do you think? Did we miss any that were worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wild wrestling content. Hit that bell so that you never miss an upload, and we've got even crazier WWE moments coming your way.